My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Willard. And nobody ever talks about this movie, but looking at reviews online, this movie has its passionate fans, and I was hoping to be one of them. Like, I wanted to love this movie. I wanted to call it underrated. I wanted to call this movie a hidden gem, but unfortunately, I did not like it. But let's begin talking about the cast, and Crispin Glover does a real great job. You can just tell that he's on the verge of losing it. He's on the verge of snapping, and he just has this unnerving presence, and he sells you on everything he needed to perfectly. But the standout performance to me is Ollie Emery. This guy is so over the top. He is so despicable. He is so evil. And anytime he's on screen, I was pissed off. And he just brought this character to life perfectly. Like, there was one scene near the end where he's telling Willard he should just sue him. And the writing was great in that moment, but his delivery just filled me with rage. A really great performance. Laura Elena Herring, I thought was underwhelming. I thought her character was going to end up becoming a bigger role, but it never really happens, and she just felt unnecessary. Jackie Bowles, I thought, did a pretty good job. She's mean, she's abusive, and she does that all incredibly well. So the cast is a highlight of this movie, and this movie is filled, just filled with rats. Like, this is the most rat-filled movie I have ever seen, and rats are just naturally gross and disgusting, so it's a little unnerving in that way. There is one scene with a cat that's actually pretty disturbing, and there's one rat named Ben. And I know that this sounds weird if you haven't watched the movie, but the way he's built up to as the villain is really well done, actually. There's like a hierarchy to the rats, and it's well captured. But all that said, I just don't think the story being told is interesting, and I'm starting to realize that one of my least favorite stories is this loser who gets pushed around, gets bullied until he eventually snaps. There's Paul with Mia Goth that I hated. I don't like the original Carrie, and I don't like this movie. I just think it's a very uninteresting story. It's nothing new. Like, we've seen this kind of story plenty of times before, but it's also not effective, and it's not willing to be fun. And it's just not as deep or as complex as it thinks it is. And by the end, it just didn't leave me with anything. Like, within the first 10 minutes, I knew exactly how this movie was going to go, and I was never surprised, I was never affected, and it just seemed like we were going through the motions. So even though I admire certain aspects of this movie, it just didn't push any boundaries, it just didn't do anything all that well. So, great performances, but the story left plenty to be desired, so I'm giving Willard a 4 out of 10. I also didn't mind the music by Shirley Walker. She also composed the score for Batman Mask of the Phantasm, which is a phenomenal score, but yeah. Anyways, Willard, have you seen it? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin out.